Now just imagine a brand new Indian movie premiering here in the US on Netflix. It's a spy thriller based on true events. I was pumped. I was really pumped for this. But how was it? Let's talk about Mission Majnu. In the 1970s, an undercover Indian spy takes on a deadly mission to expose a covert nuclear weapons program in the heart of Pakistan. The movie stars Sidharth Malhotra, Rashmika Mandanna, and Parmeet Sethi. Now, this premiered on Netflix, as I said, here in the US, and it had the original Hindi language, it had English dubbed, it had Tamil, Telugu, and even Hindi audio description, which I thought was really cool. I mean, considering that one of the characters is blind. So it kind of makes sense. Did you guys ever see The Perfect Storm? It's a movie that's very, very frustrating to me because most of the movie is just made up. It's not based on any kind of actual account. It's just, once they leave, George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg in the boat, right? They leave. They have one final conversation with someone over the radio shortly after they left, and then the rest of the movie is just made up because no one survives, right? So it's one of those things where it's like they could have crashed in some reef really undramatically and had no adventure like at all, and we wouldn't know. And it's just kind of, I don't know. It irritated me. This is unfortunately a similar kind of movie. There are pieces of the movie that are steeped in reality. India developing a nuclear weapon, and then Pakistan saying that we're going to do the same thing, and the Indian spies and all that sort of thing. Everything, though, has just a surface level feel to it. There's no depth at all. And sure, it's got this Indian patriotism sort of bundled up into this sort of, I mean, a lot of people have said it's kind of a propaganda kind of movie, but I highly doubt that the Pakistani forces were this inept at their job. One scene in particular has our hero confront a Pakistani soldier as he's trying to, find the location of this hidden base, right? And yeah, he fools the soldier by saying that he was looking for his goat. Okay. Then later on, there's an action scene on a train, and there's a scene where our hero is hanging off the side of the train, and Pakistani soldiers are literally feet away from him, like no more than 8 to 10 feet away from him, and they're shooting at him, and they miss him. To me, it's like it's our heroes in movies, whatever. Our heroes are meant to overcome something, and when you make the antagonists incredibly inept, it sort of lessens the impact that the hero could have on the audience because he's not overcoming anything like a great force of dangerous whatever. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense there. But it's one of those things that really irritates me about this movie. Now, Rashmika Mandanna's character, especially at the beginning, has this issue where she's always got wind in her face. Look, it's one of those things where, a man sees a beautiful woman and that's what happens. Her hair is blowing in the wind and making her look even more gorgeous than she already is. I'm just having a laugh here. But look, she's one of the most frustrating characters in the entire movie. And not because she's bad. It's because I wanted her to have depth. I wanted her to have actual human reactions. Like, the problem is, yeah, they made her blind, right? That the character in this movie is blind. The problem is she just doesn't ask Amandeep anything. He's going off doing all kinds of things at all hours of the night, never questions him. She's never an issue. And I feel like that's why they made her blind, to try to answer that question. Oh, well, why wouldn't she be asking where he is? Oh, she can't see anything, which is, it's frustrating. From the setup, you have them falling in love and getting married, and then you're sort of presented with, this is what the movie's about. This is what this Indian spy in Pakistan is going to have to do. He's going to have to try to figure this out. And because of the way they presented it, I thought it was really going to be about the two of them and the challenges that they would have to face together. And, you know, maybe it's because, I don't know, she finds out and she confronts him about it, whatever. But that's how it was. That's how it I don't know. That's kind of how I thought it was going to be. And then it wasn't. And it was kind of, honestly, kind of insulting. The problem here is that I was really interested in the premise. I think the premise was set up really, really well, and it made me interested. And then you give me all of this surface level, kind of really poorly constructed action pieces, and it was just really frustrating. And movies like this for me are challenging to review because I try to take sort of a more balanced, measured approach. I don't really try to focus on the negative. I try to really boost the positive stuff here. But the problem is just not a lot here worked for me, like at all. And it wasn't an issue like it has been in the past in some of the other Indian movies I've watched, where there's sort of a culture barrier thing. That's the problem. No, this was just. I mean, I get it. I get it why this movie was not released in theaters and went directly to streaming services. So, unfortunately, yeah, that's where I stand on Mission Majnu. And, you know, I really had high hopes for it. But I'm sort of curious if there are people out there that really enjoyed the movie. Did it work for you? Or if you didn't like it, let me know. Let me know if you agree with me, because it's like, I just felt like, wow, I could be watching one of the other movies on my list instead of this movie that I was really excited for, and it just let me down. So I'm sort of curious. Like I said, let me know down below what you're thinking, and we'll talk about it. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.